of Ocean Place Condominium at Lauderdale by the Sea. This is John Tite, and I'm here with Catherine and Stefan. And we're filming a brief introduction to the annual meeting package that you've received in the mail to help everybody understand what is this gigantic pile of information that the state requires us to send to all unit owners. So what I'm going to try to do is step through each piece of paper that you received and kind of cut to the chase as to what you guys actually need to do and keep it simple as I can. This first page here is sort of an explanation of what is included in your mailing. The next is a notice, a second notice of the membership meeting. The date is April 13th and the hour is 7 o'clock. There's also some explanations as to what other things are in this mailing, which I will go through verbally. This is also a second notice of the actual election, which is on the same date and time and place. So you're actually trying to have two meetings. One where you'll have the election of directors and one where you'll have your annual unit owner meeting. This is the agenda of the annual members meeting or unit owner meeting. And you can see all the specifics of what type of business we're going to try to conduct. This is a important annual meeting and election update where it talks about voting certificates, which I'll explain in a minute, limited proxies, which I'll explain, ballots, and so on. Let's first start with the voting certificate. The purpose of a voting certificate is to make it clear to the association if any unit is owned by more than one person, so it would be owned by 2, 3, 4, or a corporation. The association needs to know which unit owner is certified to vote on behalf. Example, Mr. and Mrs. John and Joan Smith own a unit and they both turn in a ballot. Which one should we count? We don't know. So what we ask every unit owner to do that is owned by more than one unit is to fill out this voting certificate. Clarify who is the authorized voter and then have all of the unit owners sign it. We keep this on record year after year after year until it changes. We provide one of these every year for you. In addition to that, we also provided a list of who we don't have one for. So if you can go through this list of all the unit owners, if your name is checked, that means we currently do not have a voting certificate for you, and we'd like to have you send one in so it's on record. The next thing that you'll find in your package is the limited proxy. This particular, this proxy is in order for each unit owner that doesn't think they will attend the meeting to be represented by somebody else for non-substantive things, unimportant things. So nobody can represent you to vote on important things like we're going to close the pool or we're going to change anything dramatic in our documents. We're not going to be allowed to rent in the future, whatever. That can only be done through a proxy where they actually have the questions. This year you actually have no important business to be conducted, so the only reason you would need to fill this out is to try to get a quorum. So what we recommend that you do is you fill this out, appoint your friend in the building or one of the board members, and all they're really going to do is represent you on unimportant issues like should we have donuts next year or bagels at the annual meeting. But they will not be able to vote on anything of substance. The most important part of the package this year is the ballot. Okay, this particular ballot comes with 2 envelopes and a list of all of the candidates by alphabetical order. These are the unit owner candidates, sort of their one-page resume. None of this information is verified. Each candidate is allowed to turn in one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with anything they want on there. Whether it's true or not, we have no idea. We assume it all to be true. But the proper way to fill out the ballot. You'll be voting for up to 5 candidates. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candidates running for office. You can vote for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but not 6, okay? Only 5 will be elected. The top 5 vote getters will be the candidates that are elected. So what I recommend that you do is to pick your candidates that you'd like to be in office, fold up, and this is a must requirement. The state has very specific requirements as to how to do this. Fold up the ballot and put it into the envelope that we call inner ballot envelope, okay? This has no unit owner information on it, the ballot, and the inner ballot envelope has no unit owner information on it. This is to make your ballot secret. Now, in order for us to only enable everybody to vote once, we have the outer envelope. So we request that you take that inner envelope, put it in the outer envelope. This requires you to fill out unit owner information and a signature. These are a must. Why? We want to know where it came from, and we want to make sure that that signature matches up with that voting certificate that we talked about earlier, okay? This will be turned in, and this is how we'll make sure that everybody only votes once. And then we'll open these and separate them and keep all these in a separate pile, and then this will make your vote become anonymous, so it'll be in a secret ballot inside. In addition to that, we've sent an affidavit of notice that just basically outlines that we have done everything according to the state requirements. And then this is also an important sheet. This is for the database that Ocean Place is trying to maintain. It asks some questions like your name and occupation and where you may feel like you could be helpful to the association. So if you could fill this out and turn it in, we'd really appreciate it. That's all I have today. If you have any other questions or aren't clear on what you need to do with your Ocean Place mailing package, please call the office and they'll be happy to answer it for you. Thank you.